appreciate your time and your commitment. It's a pleasure to have your company in the dealership tonight. This is a very special evening. We're going to show you the new F12. Before we unveil the car, I'm just going to put it in perspective so everybody knows what we're looking at. Ferrari has a long and very illustrious history of front-engine 12-cylinder cars. That is kind of their iconic model. Goes all the way back to the 250 Tour de France, 250 short wheelbase, the Daytona, the 365 GTB4, most recently the 599. There are a lot of great front-engine 12-cylinder Ferraris, probably the most iconic car of all time, the 250 GTO. This is the latest iteration of an idea that Ferrari has been developing for 60 years. So if I can get my assistants to pull the covers off of the car, we will show you the new Ferrari F12.
That's beautiful.
I'm going to turn the microphone over to Jim, who is our technical presenter from Ferrari North America. He's going to take you through some of the basics of the car. Some numbers you might want to remember: 740 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.1, top speed about 204 miles per hour. It has 76% more downforce than the car that replaced the 599 GTB. It is a spectacular car, 7-speed, dual-clutch transmission, all the latest technology. And as you know, because you're Ferrari fans, the technology from Ferrari's Formula One cars went into this car at an extraordinarily high rate of speed. So I'm going to turn it over to Jim. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Jim Crawford with Ferrari North America. To add a little bit to what Mr. Pierce just said as far as what Ferrari brought into this car from the racing world, two of the aspects primarily from racing: aerodynamics, as you know, are extremely important, and the engine. Mr. Pierce mentioned the horsepower. It's 120 horsepower more than the 599. So if merging has ever been a problem in the Houston traffic, it won't be now. That's for sure. So, not that it should have been before, but anyway, one of the things I want to point out, aerodynamic-wise, a fantastic feature is if you notice the hood, and for those of you that are standing back here, when you get a moment to walk around the car, and we will open it up here shortly so that everyone can walk around and look inside and all that, but as you walk around the front, I want you to notice the hood. You'll see two channels going up the hood, going to either side of the car. It's called an aero bridge that they came up with. And what it does is it evacuates air off of the windscreen, off of the top of the car. One of the things that in racing you're always wanting to make your car less drag coefficient. That's very important. But if you try to do that, you also take away downforce. Well, Ferrari has figured out how to do that without losing downforce, in fact, creating more downforce. But you'll notice the air can funnel off the hood, down through the quarter panels of the car, the fenders, I'm sorry, the front fenders. You'll see that it's called an aero bridge, and you'll see how the air can go down underneath. That creates more downforce as well. Like I said, it takes air off the front of the car, the very front nose. One thing that I find is very impressive, it's an active air duct for the brakes. And what it does is as your brakes get warmer, the air ducts will open up to cool them, and then as you speed back up, the air ducts will automatically shut for more of an aero package. It keeps the air on the nose of the car, it keeps the front end planted a lot better, very important. It also has the same element in the rear of the car. You'll notice a screen on the back of each on the top of the back of each wheel. The air will evacuate out of that and over the rear of the car. That creates more downforce in the rear. And that helps without adding, some cars you'll notice they'll add spoilers. In racing, they'll probably call it a gurney strip, things like that to help create more downforce. The Ferrari, the F12, doesn't need it. The design, the way the air flows over the car, it does it for you. Very impressive in that aspect. Engine-wise, well, let me go back to the car for a second. It's 2 inches shorter than the 599, 2.5 inches lower. The wheelbase itself is 1.2 inches shorter, and it's about 3/4 of an inch narrower. okay? Very impressive. The cars, there are three goals where make it more compact, make it lighter, and more efficient. Engine-wise, as far as being efficient with the fuel, there's a 3-spark. They have a 3-spark system, ignition system, so it ignites the fuel more efficiently. You get a cleaner burn. Helps more power. Very important. Typically, when you add more horsepower, your fuel economy goes away. Once again, they figured that out. So it's very impressive. So I think, Joe, do y'all have a key? We're going to unlock the car here in a minute, open up the doors, we're going to open up the hood. You're more than welcome to please walk around, look inside the car. If you have any questions, please ask. Don't hesitate at all. Joe, ready to start it up? Yeah. Joe or Randy, anyways, they'll be here in a minute with the key. Please feel free to come up and look at the car.
What's it weigh? Yeah.
What's it weigh? I'm going to ask Joe on that one. I'm sorry. I would get an answer.